We call the meeting to order, and if everybody could stand to salute the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. The public announcements. We have a group of football players here who had a tremendous season this year, 13-0. So we wanted to invite them tonight to acknowledge their tremendous season, what they have done for the town of Abington, and appropriately on our 300th birthday too, which is a great thing. So it was a great way to finish the 300th anniversary by you guys actually winning that Super Bowl. So we wanted to congratulate you on a tremendous season, and I'm not sure if anybody else has anything that they'd like to say. Tom, I'm sure you have. You're the voice of the press box, so.
I would like to say something, but one of the things that occurred to me today in coming over was, does it feel like you going to the White House today to meet the president coming up to the town hall to meet the Board of Selectmen?
You don't have to answer that.
But I think really on behalf of the whole board, the community, the members of the audience, congratulations. Coming over tonight, I made a couple of notes, and it kind of boils down to three things to me. Determination. The season is about high standards, and how did you want to be remembered? And certainly finishing 13-0 was outstanding. But what was outstanding to me is the last 4 games of the season, you either came from behind or tied to win each one of those. And other than Whitman, it was a must-win situation. East Bridgewater championship game, classic. Jumped out like a rabbit, 16-0. Came back, East Bridgewater tied it 16-16, and then you went to work. In that fourth quarter, you controlled the ball for about 5 or 6 minutes, pushed it in to come out with a 22-16 win to win the South Shore League championship. Whitman, again, behind at halftime, 16-13. Journeyman performance in front of a huge crowd, beautiful day in Whitman, and it's always good to beat, a rival. Again, playing Hopedale Millis, came in highly touted, trailing at halftime in the snow, came back with a sensational second half performance. I think you trailed 12-7 at halftime. You went on to win the game. I think it was 29-12. Outstanding. Matt Kilmaine came into his own. Matt on the sideline, Matt Diver, number 75. The other fellow, I forget his name, for Hopedale, but he was touted as the big lineman. All they were saying, who's the kid for Abington, number 75? You played outstanding. In the Super Bowl, 8-0. They marched down, blew it down your throat. You came back, you tied it, you went ahead at halftime, 14-8. And what was always impressive to me is you have your stars, you had your backs, your quarterback, but it's the guys that are sort of the support players that come in at big times and make big plays. Fourth quarter, guy from St. Mary's wide open in the end zone, ball's in his hand, and who comes in but a sophomore, Brian DeCarli, to knock it out of his hand. And then to see Brady, I don't know if Brady's here, but to come in and intercept on the next play. So outstanding, and again, I would say that high standards, in my lifetime, Abington football has been measured by really 4 teams up until this point. The Rileys, 1956 undefeated football team. I think they went 10-0. They didn't have a Super Bowl back then, but that was a standard. In '62, although I don't think they won the title, but allegedly, or not allegedly, but one of the greatest running backs in Abington history, Kenny McDonald, outstanding. They lost in the championship game to Randolph. 2002 Super Bowl, beat Tingsboro 25-0. Probably one of the greatest games in 2005 to beat Archbishop Williams. But you have set a standard, 13-0, you ran the table. It's going to be hard to beat that. And again, I thought you guys are going to be a team to be remembered, not only in Abington. I've talked to a few people out of town, old Green Wavers, and the first thing they said to me is, I see the Green Wave won the Super Bowl. So again, personally, as a member of the board and the community, congratulations, job well done.
Very good.
Anybody else? The other thing, people I think we need to all thank are your coaches, obviously, and your parents who give you support every day. And so I'd like to give your parents a round of applause, actually, if we could do that. At this point in time, I'd like to ask Pat Dwyer to come forward. Pat's going to give us a bit of a proclamation.
Talking to this?
What's that?
Thanks. Do I have to talk into it, or am I good right now?
Yeah, good.
All right. We're honored by the recognition. Thank you so much. It means a lot to us. But I'm going to take this time to honor our head coach, Jim Kelleher. For almost 40 years, Coach Kells walked the sidelines with the Abington High School football team as its head coach. But his role as in our community and his effect on the youth of Abington has been a mentor, a father figure, a coach, a teacher, a friend to thousands of grateful young men and women. He's shown generations how to excel as an individual, how to succeed as part of a team, how to win with class, how to lose with dignity, and how to grow as young adults with compassion, self-respect, and self-confidence. As a coach, Kell's legacy in Abington is unmatched, and he is the longest-serving football coach in Abington's history. He has coached some of the best teams and some of the worst teams, but a team's record has never affected the amount of love Coach Kell has for his players, nor the respect they return to their coach. Since the turn of the century, Kell's Green Wave teams have achieved a phenomenal 80% winning percentage. During the same period, his team crowned 8 times as league champions, 3 times as Super Bowl champions, and he enjoyed a string of seasons during the Green Wave where we never lost a home game at Memorial Field for over 5 years. Under Coach Kell's leadership, the Abington Green Wave football team recently completed what can only be described as a perfect season with a 13-0 undefeated record. The Green Wave again captured the highest achievement in high school football by ending our thrilling season, 2012 Division IV Super Bowl champions. A few thousand fans attended the game, including proud parents, supportive classmates, and loyal alumni, while hundreds of other Green Wave fans listened to the radio broadcast. And the community celebrated together as Coach Kell's team returned home triumphant. It's easy to understand why Coach Kell was inducted in the High School Football Coaches Hall of Fame in 2005 and was named 2012 Abington High School Alumni of the Year. And we're proud to know that the Boston Globe has just announced that their choice for Abington's Jim Kelleher as the 2012 Division IV High School Football Coach of the Year. Jim Kelleher has taught He's taught and exemplified some of life's lessons every day for over 4 decades. As a teacher in the classroom, as a coach on the field, as a husband, a father, a grandfather, and as a loyal supporter of his alma mater, Abington High School. Coach Kell has instilled important values in our children and in our community. Dedication, devotion, teamwork, character, integrity, compassion, leadership, responsibility, and respect. Jim Kelleher has given more to Abington than could ever possibly be returned. His unselfishness and concern for the well-being of others is admirable and unmatched, and Coach Kell certainly sets an example for we can all strive to attain. His growing number of lifelong friends and admirers is ample testimony to his effect on the lives of so many Abington families. On behalf of the residents of Abington and the members of Green Wave Nation, an Abington Board of Selectmen which wishes to recognize and thank James E. Kelleher for his many years of dedication, guidance, and service to those citizens and students of the town of Abington. We congratulate you and name you one of Abington's best.
Well, when I wrote that up, he left out 3 pages, so do you mind if I finish it up? Thomas, I thought 1964 was a pretty good year, too.
Sure in your mind.
We won the championship.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But really, in behalf of my players, my coaches, Abington High School, the administration, all of the kids, that participate in sports, girls and guys, you know, it's a great place to be. It really, truly is. I always tell people that I had the best upbringing there could be. You know, my dad was a Rockland guy, and I was an Abington guy growing up, and I learned to love both of them, learned to love the competitiveness between both of them, and, you know, I went to Abington High School and, you know, came back and have been here for a while, and it's really been about, you know, the only place I ever wanted to be, truly, and I've been fortunate to have some good players along the way. It's fortunate to have some very good coaches. Fortunate that both of those two types of people, the players and the coaches, sometimes listened to me, and sometimes did the things on their own, and it was just, you know, worked out pretty good also. But it was, you know, it was a fantastic year. There's not too many coaches, you know, whether it be in football or any sport, girl or guy coach, to be able to go through the season and go undefeated. It's not very easy to do, but the kids persevered right from the beginning. We certainly knew, and they knew, that we had a pretty good football team, you know, on the roster. But, you know, you have to make sure that you show that up on the game field. In each and every game, they did, you know. And then during the week, we'd get ready for the next team and talk about what we have to do and try to make sure we find the things that we do pretty good, try to get better at some other things, and they did. As Thomas said, you know, in the latter part of the year, when we came back in all those games, and we came back in some other games, you know, you don't do that without a lot of hard work. And we did put them through the paces. We put them, you know, each and every week, and they responded. But I really, truly, you know, thank those guys who played, and thank my coaches who worked with me, and I with them, and, you know, certainly also to the parents. I mean, it's long, you know, we have them for a long time. We talk about trying to get them in the off season to play the other sports, to participate, to get ready for the season in the weight room, at practice all those times. You know, they get home late. We tell them also to make sure that they, you know, do right in the classroom, do right by the grades, and all those kinds of things that we're no different than any other coach. And, you know, it was a long ride for the parents too, and I certainly want to say thank you to them. And without a doubt, each and every game that we played, particularly in the playoff games at Whitman-Hanson, when you looked around on that day, and it was just an absolute wonderful sight to see all those people there. And you know, at Bridgewater Raynham, the crowd that we had, and certainly at Curry College, to turn around and to look along the sides and see all those people there between ourselves and St. Mary, it certainly gets those kids to look at that and feel really, really excited, and, you know that the work that they performed, that people are trying to, you know, say thank you to them. And it is certainly a memorable season, but you know, I just enjoyed coaching football with the players and with the coaches, and you know, it turned out this year to be a real exciting one and a real fruitful one, and I thank everyone for that. My team thanks everyone for that, and you know, it will, without a doubt, as you talked about, because I remember, you know, being here a long time, just like some of you guys there, some people out here, you know, watching all those old folks that we talked about, like a Kenny McDonald, you know, and of course I used to always kid with the kids and tell them the fact that if I saw Kenny McDonald and David Lindquist on my football team, if I was a sophomore, I wouldn't probably play football because I was too scared to play against those guys, you know. But it's been a great history at Abington High School. Certainly Coach Pastor had a lot, you know, to do with that with me. All right, you know, my family, my mom, my dad, and everyone else. But it's been something, as I said, that you know, if you're an athlete, you know, sometimes this is what you like to get into. All right, and this is what I wanted to get into, and it's been very fruitful every single year. And I thank the town of Abington for allowing me to be here, you know, and to be as a teacher first, and then as a coach, and continue as a coach at this point in time. And really, these kids will thank you a lot for all the things that you know you've done for them already, and what will happen in the future for them. All right, and it's you know, I don't know how many more thank yous you want me to say, but I will.
wanted to thank Sean Riley also for helping us put this together tonight and helping us with a proclamation. He was instrumental in that, so thank you again.
Very
And
good.
Why don't we take a couple of minute recess and
Sure.
we'll get that. Thank you.
Good. Right.
Call the meeting back to order, please. Next, under public announcements, we have Jan Prow from the Tricentennial Committee, and she's going to give us a report on the commemorative book. Jan, how are you?
I'm fine.
That's good.
It's a hard act to follow.
Yes?
Sean had told us we should have held publication on the book until after the game,
I was thinking that today.
so we could include it in here. But just to let folks know, with the commemorative book that is on sale now, there is a beautiful section on Abington sports memories that Sean wrote that goes back to like an Old Town football picture from 1919, and there's a whole bunch in here. It would have been nice to, have the book that we could have included this fabulous football team this year, but it is what it is, but it sure rounds out the 300th. But anyway, this is currently on sale. It culminates everything that the Tricentennial Committee has worked on for the past 2 years. It also goes back pre-incorporation in 1712 with Abington, Rockland, and Whitman, and it has history in here. It has incredible event pictures in here, along with the student project, the 30 for the 300th that was done in all 3 towns there. 30 works are published in the book, too. And thanks to our sponsors and advertisers, again, we couldn't have done it without them. But this is out there. It's very reasonably priced at $20. I mean, family, friends, go out and get one. This is history. Give it as a gift for Christmas. I mean, it's a perfect thing. It is at Bemis Drug. It's at Bailey's. It's at the library, the senior center, the town hall, and it keeps getting further and further. I know Slattery has them, McDonough Insurance has them, Independence has them, Subgalley has them, so they're kind of getting out there for sale in many, many places. And we can mail them, so if anybody has someone out of state that they know that wants them mailed, it's only an extra $6 charge to send them priority mail. So for $20, you capture a beautiful piece of history. That's a great memory for everything that Abington has stood for the past 300 years.
Great.
So,
Thank you.
thanks.
Thank you, Jen. Any questions? All right. Public appointments. The 6:30 one is being postponed, is that correct, Dory?
That's correct.
Okay.
We wanted to announce the date is postponed to the January 14th.
Okay, so the 6:30, request for a change of license from club license to all alcohol restaurant and change of manager at 30 Central Street is postponed to
January 14th.
January 14th. 6:40 PM, we have a request for Class 2 license at 123 Center Avenue, Suite A. And this is a public hearing. The Board of Selectmen will hold a public hearing on Monday, December 10th, 2012, at 6:40 PM in the Carter Hearing Room, 500 Glenevich Way, on the application of Lee Good for a Class 2 license doing business as Big Lee's Auto, 123 Center Avenue, Suite A. Andrew Burbine, Chairman. A motion to open the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the hearing's opened. Is Mr. Good here? Mr. Good,
Yes, sir.
how are you?
Good. Yourself?
Fine, thanks. Just give us a little synopsis of what you plan on doing.
I'm just looking to sell some used cars, just a couple. Just trying to get a Class 2 license, along with the repair shop that I'm running.
It's not this one. I think it's this one. So are you operating down there now?
Yes, I am.
The commercial garage?
Yes.
Correct. Okay. And you're looking for 15 cars for sale?
Yes.
2 customer spaces, 2 employee spaces, and you have a current license for 11 commercial garage
Yes.
spaces, correct? Okay. Any questions? Concerns?
I just noticed the proposed hours of operation been crossed out from 8 to 8 to 9 to 6. Is that the applicant?
Yes.
request? Okay.
Yes.
And then just to 1 PM on Saturdays.
Yes. Oh, Sunday, I'm
Sunday.
sorry.
Sunday.
Sunday, Saturday, 9 to 6.
This is located,
It's where Spencer's.
Down behind Spencer's Pizza.
where your shop is?
Yeah. So just, your parking won't interfere with Spencer's?
No.
No, I didn't
No.
think so, but my eyes are failing me. Kind of.
Just a question, Dory, I don't know, on the date of the application, it was March 30th. Is there a reason why it stated March 30th and it's just here now? Or?
That was because we had decided to wait for the Attorney General's ratification of the Class 2 license bylaw change.
Okay, thanks. Any other questions, concerns? If not, do we have a motion?
A motion to close the hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry, yes, it's a public hearing. I'm sorry, anybody out in the audience have any concerns, any questions on this? If not, we have a motion to close the hearing.
Take a motion to close the hearing.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
What's that?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, the ayes have
Make
it.
a motion to approve.
Second?
And a second, a motion to approve and a second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the ayes have it.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Six 6:50 PM, we have a request for a commercial garage license at 933 Brockton Avenue. It's also a public hearing. The Board of Selectmen will hold a public hearing on Monday, December 10th, 2012, at 6:50 PM in the Carter Hearing Room, 500 Glenevich Way, on the application of Giuliano Anjos for a commercial garage license, doing business as L.A. Used Cars and Repair, 933 Brockton Avenue. Andrew Burbine, Chairman. Is the applicant here? Can you come forward, please? Can you just tell us a little bit about what you're looking to do, please?
Yes, I'm already in the business just selling car for 2 years, and I just rent the body shop for my landlord, and I just want to get the license transferred to LA Auto Repair so I can fix all of my own cars. And everything for the park and the sports gonna be everything the same. The only thing's gonna change is the name. It used to be a K&I Auto Body, and it's gonna change that to LA Auto Repair.
Okay. And you currently have a license for Class 2, correct?
Yes,
For 18 cars?
yes,
And you're looking for 9 cars to repair, 3 customer spaces, 2 employee spaces,
yes,
correct? Your hours 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, Saturday 8 to 12, and closed on Sunday.
yes.
Any questions?
Nope.
Any questions from the audience? If not, do we have a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. We have a motion,
Move we approve the license.
motion to approve the license. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. You're all set, sir. Good luck with it. Congratulations. Still a little before 7 o'clock. So. We're still a little before 7, so I'm going to go down to action discussion items. Approval of minutes, November 14th, 2012, open session.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of November 14th as written.
There's a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Let me go to number 2, joint appointment between the Board of Selectmen and Town Manager to the Personnel Committee. And then we had one applicant, I believe, Peter Walters of 157 Green Street. I don't know, is that, hi, Mr. Walters, how are you? Good. Can you come forward for a sec? Thanks. You just introduce yourself, your name and your address,
Hi, my name's Pete Walters. I live at 157 Green Street.
and you're interested in serving on the
Yes.
Personnel Committee?
Yeah, just a way to help out the town.
Good for you. Any questions of Mr. Walters?
No, I think you've spent 34 years in the Army Reserve, both in personnel and the judge advocate corps.
Yes, I did.
Your application.
And you retired as a sergeant major, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
So you've been dealing with personnel matters?
All my
basically
Army, all for a long, long time, yes.
Thank you.
I was in the Army. I don't know if I could ever vote for a sergeant major.
That's okay, I can understand it.
That's the same as what we used to call top. Just kidding.
No, that's
No,
fine.
you're not either.
Not even top, but that's okay. I'll let
Any
it
questions
go.
of Mr. Walters? If not, do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
A second, any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you very much
Good
for
luck,
your
Peter.
Congratulations, yeah.
volunteering, and you'd have to get, I believe you'll have to get sworn in.
Yes. yeah.
Okay,
The town clerk's office.
okay, so I just,
Anytime during the week that, at your leisure, if you could go in and visit with the town clerk.
okay.
8:30.
Maybe need a letter
Appointment, yeah. Okay, so hour being 7:00 PM, why don't we go back up to public appointments? Request for a change of hours, Route 18 Superstore. Why don't you come forward, sir? How are you? Could you just introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Raj Patel, and I own a Route 18 Superstore on 336 Washington Street. And right now we open until 10 p.m. on Sunday, and we want to increase 1 hour until 11 p.m.
And Mr. Chairman, I just want to mention there was an error in the form. I didn't have your phone number, Patel, to call, but that's correct. He's currently requesting on Sunday to open at noon and close at 11, as opposed to opening at noon and closing at 10.
Okay.
Yeah, we open in the morning, 6 Sunday, but we sell alcohol after 12.
Noon, yes.
Yeah, so I want to increase 1 hour.
Right.
Yeah, you're looking to change your hours from 10, closing time from 10 o'clock until 11
To
o'clock
11,
on
yeah.
Sundays.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
The opening hour is same.
Understood. Any questions? Concerns?
Well, didn't we give approval to a liquor store recently up by Walmart?
We
Same
did, I
thing, yeah.
believe, yes. yeah.
I don't have any problem with it.
Closing at 11.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion, we approve.
Second?
And a second, a motion and a second, any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, thank you.
That's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Moving right along.
Back to action discussion items. Item number 3, Selectmen's appointment to the Board of Directors to the Abington Community Access and Media, Inc. I believe we have one applicant, Jan Prowl. Jan? Hello again.
Jan Pearl, 20 Cleverly Street, B5.
So this has been a vacancy that's been existing for a little bit of a time, and Jan is interested in serving, so
I need something to fill my time.
now that the tricentennial is winding down.
It's winding.
I'll move we approve.
I'll second.
A motion and a second, any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was easy.
Yeah, that was easy. Okay, next on the agenda, item number 5, appointment of the interim town clerk until the annual town election in April 2013. We had 3 applicants, correct, but one has withdrawn?
Yes.
Okay, so, has withdrawn her name, so currently we have 2 applicants, Leanne Adams and Stephen Beltis. Are they both here? Leanne's here, is Steve here? Okay. Leanne, you want to come forward just for a second? Thanks. How are you?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. We have Leanne's letter of interest. I don't know if anybody has any questions, or...
No, if you could, Leanne, just for the benefit of the public, could you just tell us how long you've been in the clerk's office and what your current position is?
Certainly. I've been in the clerk's office for 8 years, and I am currently the interim town clerk.
You're currently the assistant town clerk, is that what you said? I couldn't hear you.
I was the assistant, but
Right.
since Linda has left, the interim town clerk.
Yes, so you've been the assistant town clerk
Yes.
previous to this, and you've been in the office for 8 years?
Yes, I have.
Thank you.
I do have one question. Do you plan on running for election?
Yes,
in the
I
spring?
do.
You do, okay. Mr. Beltis is not here, correct? Okay. Thank you, Leanne.
I'll make a motion, we approve Leanne to town clerk,
Interim town clerk
interim town clerk.
until town election in April 2013.
I'll second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Thank you. Congratulations, Leanne.
Mr. Chairman, should we send a
Yes.
letter to Mr. Beltis thanking him for putting his name in?
Yes, can you do that? Thanks. Item number 5, appointment of citizen at-large member for the Town Manager Search Committee. And again, I believe we had 3 applicants, but again, one has withdrawn her name, correct? Okay, so, right now, the 2 applicants are Ann Welch, 81 Highland Road, and Paul Molliker, 152 Presidential Drive, and I think they're both here. Is Paul here? Oh, there he is. I thought I saw you. Ann, you're listed first here, so why don't you come up and just give us a brief history of
Hi.
why you're interested.
Ann Welch, 81 Highland Road. Interested for a lot of reasons. Interested primarily to serve my community. Also to give myself some more experience in the field of human resources staffing. As stated in my letter, I have almost 9 years of staffing and recruiting experience. And I also have other municipal experience, including Board of Health, Council on Aging, Bylaw Review Committee, and I also, as you know, served on the last Town Search Committee. I feel that my experience and knowledge is a benefit to the committee. Those that I know have experience in hiring and interviewing, but I don't see that we have a current member who has any formal HR experience in that field. So I'm here to request your consideration of appointment to the citizen at large.
Any questions of Ann? No? Okay, thank you, Ann.
Thank
Paul?
you.
How are you?
A little background, so you want?
Please.
Yeah. Paul Molliker, 152 Presidential Drive. I've asked, put my name in for consideration to be on the search committee. Presently, I work for Webster Bank, regional president in Boston. I've been in banking since 1974. I've been management positions since 1986. I've had as many as 20 people direct reports work for me. Presently, I have 8 with 11 indirect. My budget in Boston is $11 million budget. $18 million budget for 2012. The portfolio that I'm in charge of has about $850 million in assets in terms of loan. I think in addition to that, I've been a director and treasurer of the South Shore YMCA in Quincy for about over 15 years. And I think over the course of my working career, I've hired some very good people, and I've also hired some people that weren't great. And I think that it's always difficult when you hire the wrong person to challenge to get rid of them. I think that in that process, I've learned a lot. I think outreach, background checks, trying to network with people who know the individual to kind of get some background on the person. It's difficult if you don't know somebody to really get a real sense of what type of job the person would do. And I think, again, in that period of time, I think I've always tried to, my philosophy's always been hire the best person for the position. I'm not one to, if Mike Franey called and said, I want this person as the greatest thing since sliced bread, and I didn't think the person was up to the challenge, then I would have that wouldn't influence me at all. So I think if you look over the news over the past few months, you've seen that a lot of people end up in positions in politics that are kind of political hacks. The person who was the former public safety administrator, less than stellar background, and the person who was in charge of the one of the person at the drug lab for the Commonwealth of Mass was an embarrassment. But also, if you look deeper, the person that they report to is equally is responsible for the person who made all those bad judgments. So, anyways, make a long story short, I think based on my background, I look forward to, or I think I could do a help out in the process, and that's about it. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions? Mr. Malika? No? Okay, thanks, Paul.
Thanks.
Okay, so we have two people who are interested.
Mr. Chairman, a
Yes.
procedural question. Would it be better to nominate both of them, put both the names in nomination, then we can each go down and vote one
That's
way or
probably-
the other,
yeah,
just
I think that
to
would
make
make
it
it
easier?
easier, yes.
If for that reason, I'll move we put both names in nomination.
Is there a second?
Well, the easiest thing would be do if we appointed Ian Welch. I mean, Ian, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, I did.
Did you speak before you
I was
were
going to say,
talking?
I did. I was going to say Ian Malika, and then I.
All right, so we have a motion to nominate, both in nomination at this point. Is there a second?
I'll second.
And a second. Any discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay, so we have two. Why don't we just take them? We'll take Ann first. All in favor of Ann, just signify by saying aye, or raising your hand, actually.
Aye.
All in favor of Paul? So Ann would be 3-2.
And I just want to state that the reason I think Ann has been great, she's been on the committee before, and I was looking to have somebody new, quite honestly, to help out, and we've had somebody new offer them their services, so that's the reason for my vote.
Okay.
No, there's no doubt about it. They're
Both are very well
very
qualified.
well qualified, and,
And I just like to add, I just think Paul brings a level that he operates at the executive level for many years in a key industry in our economy, and I think it's very rare that we would get a candidate of this qualification to serve on an executive search committee, and I think he's a well-qualified candidate to serve, so that's the rationale for my vote.
Okay, thank you. Thank you both for applying.
Thank you.
Item number 6, appointment of member of the Board of Selectmen for the Town Manager Search Committee. We delayed this until tonight. I know there was interest by a couple of members. I'm not sure where we stand at this point, who's interested, who's not interested, so. Who's interested?
I'd just like to say that I decided, I kind of wanted to do it, but when these two gentlemen to my left said they were going to do it, I kind of stepped back, so.
Are you still,
I
are you interested?
I am
Are you
interested. I am
interested?
interested. I'm not really serving on any of the other subcommittees or anything, so I'm
We'll take
interested,
it.
but
Are you interested, Mike?
my brother was appointed from the Finance Committee, so obviously that wouldn't be right to have two members of the same family, even though they had an interest, but let them go. It's fine.
I was interested, but again, and owing to the fact of having somebody that hasn't done it before, if Kenny wants it, I have no problem with that.
I would appreciate it.
Okay. Have you done it, Kev? Were you on?
Have I done, I was on,
Back,
Mike and I were on
when,
the original.
the first one, yeah, okay, yeah. And I was on it the last time, so. All right, so we'll appoint Kenny as the selectman representative to the
Can we
committee.
take a vote so it's unanimous?
No.
Just so I-
I didn't say we'd go that far.
Thanks, Ken.
I'll move we appoint Mr. Coyle.
I'll second that.
All in any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, the ayes have it.
So that was unanimous?
No?
I don't know, did you vote for yourself?
Yes.
Okay, item number 7, I'm going to recuse myself on, so Mike's going to take over the meeting at this point.
Thank you, Mr. Burbine. Item number 7 is a discussion of issues raised by Attorney Callahan's letters in regard to the Conservation Commission. Now, I took it upon myself to call the chairman of the Conservation Commission today. We did have a discussion, and as with, I think there's a lot going on here. As with most discussions, most people disputes, so to speak, there's two sides to the story. But the bottom line is they are having a meeting tomorrow evening, and a lot of these issues should be brought forward according to what I've been told. So I would suggest that we not do any action on this until we see what the Conservation Commission does tomorrow evening. But that, again, is up to the vote of the board.
Now, who did you say is meeting tomorrow night?
The Conservation Commission. I spoke to Alex Bezanson late this afternoon.
Are these folks on the agenda for that meeting, or is it just the conservation?
There are matters on the agenda. I didn't see the agenda, but I was told that there's matters concerning DEP requirements, which is kind of out of my league, but they're going to be addressed tomorrow evening. There has been some not proper notification of neighbors and stuff like that, but there are, and when I spoke about the letter in reference to that we received just recently on the tree being cut, he said that more than likely would be addressed too. So more or less taking Alex at his word. You know, sometimes we run into a little bit of problems, but I would like to see, and I would urge the board to see what happens tomorrow evening.
This letter brings up other issues, though, besides not Conservation Commission, so to speak, issues, but issues as far as anonymous complaints and how the town reacts to those. And I know the town has different policies. I'm not sure if the policy is different under this town manager as it was the last one. And I don't know if the board wants to address those at this point, or if they want to wait.
I did speak with him, Kenny, about that, and it is a matter of interest, and I myself, and I think most of the members of this board respond to anonymous complaints. I don't, quite frankly, unless it's a criminal offense or something like that, I would. He more or less said, and I can respect his opinion, what if I were to get a call about a dump truck dumping debris in Island Grove anonymously? How would I handle that? Well, you know, I can kind of see where that went. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's a far-fetched thing. But, you know, again, there was some disputes over whether it was anonymous or not, in what I heard this afternoon. That I don't know unless we did a full-bore investigation into what has been alleged and what actually happened. I don't know. I just kind of leaving the door open. He was not able to be here this evening. And he did say that they were going to be discussing at least most of these. I'm not certain about this, but he indicated that probably would be resolved too.
My problem is we talk about transparency, and people watching this on TV and even out here, they don't know what we're talking about. I mean, we have this letter. I would maybe suggest that put this on the agenda for our next meeting and discuss it. At that point, something would have happened. The conservation would have met, and maybe there's a solution has come to this problem. But if not, I think this should be out in the open. And I mean, not that it's not anything earth-shattering, but I think it should come to the forefront, and we should discuss it if there's no solution by the next meeting.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly, but what I heard today was some of these accusations are being disputed by what I was told this afternoon. So I think to go forward with what you're saying, we'd have to have both sides here to be able to put forth what, you know, is alleged and what isn't, you know, true. So again, I think what he was telling me, and I can't guarantee it, you know, you're at work and trying to get something done, and I had called him earlier in the day, and he called me back, and we had a nice conversation. There was no doubt about it. And I have.
You say you're chairman of the Conservation Commission?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. We spoke about other issues and having to do with previous incidents involving the neighbor and the dispute that's going on up on Wyman Road. I don't know. I mean,
The Conservation Commission is an appointed board.
Correct.
And they're
That's correct.
appointed by us?
That's correct.
So do we oversee them?
You know, we oversee them. You know, I don't think we'd ever want to appoint a board where we'd try to dictate what their determinations were.
You can't substitute your judgment for theirs. You know,
I didn't mean it that way, but
yeah.
you know.
No. And I think in fairness, to what Michael is saying, I think given the fact that if there is a meeting tomorrow, you said?
Tomorrow evening, and I
Yeah,
know that.
I think you gotta give them the chance to work it out, and I think to your point, if they're not satisfied at that meeting, if their issues haven't been addressed, and they want to come back, I think that would be proper. I don't think it'd be proper for us to go through a whole iteration with one side here and not have the other side have the ability to respond, because it is on camera, people can say things, and if there's nobody here to rebut them, that's just not fair. So I think the proper thing to do would be let the parties meet together, hopefully try and work out the differences. If they can't, then to your point, they're more than welcome to come back and we can hash it out at that point, inviting both sides. But I do think if that's the case, they should be given the opportunity to try and work matters out without getting, the minute we hear from one side, you know, you're going to open up the floodgates. So I really think that if the offer is on the table for Conservation to meet, that they be given the opportunity to meet with Conservation. And then, again, let's see where it goes, because there are issues here that, you know, may give rise to jurisdiction by DEP or may give rise to further issues. But again, let's not jump the gun. Let's give everybody their due process and let them have the ability, hopefully, to work matters out.
Before, Mike, before we hear from the public, is there a letter missing in here from town council? Didn't they weigh in on this? Or am I missing it here?
No, I don't believe they did, Tom. Not that I remember.
They addressed the open meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a different thing. But, that's it.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
if I may, my name is Tom Callahan.
Tom, I'm just going to forewarn you, I don't want this to go into a debate.
I'm not trying to make it a debate.
Is it a procedural question?
Tomorrow night, as I understand it, we're having a substantive hearing on a permit application.
Okay.
The issues that I have raised, and I represent...
Would you mind taking the microphone, just, yeah, I certainly. Thank you.
Should do this in our town.
What's that?
Make people come up here. I think it's great. First of all, let me just, I'm an attorney. I represent the Powers who live at 227. And for what it's worth, I'm a former selectman and a conservation commissioner in my community. So I know what you go through with these issues. Tomorrow night, as I understand it, we're just having a hearing on a permit application that's been made. If that's the case, some of the other issues that I have raised won't even be discussed. And I don't know about them being resolved. We've raised a number of issues about the process. We've raised a number of issues. We have a pending open meeting complaint that it's still with the Attorney General's office. I have raised issues, and we'll raise it again tomorrow, of conflicts of interest. I have asked DEP to take this whole matter, substantive matter, away from the local Conservation Commission. That isn't going to happen before tomorrow night. I've raised issues about the way my clients were treated. And if I wanted to discuss the last meeting we had with them on November 27th, I could add to my letter of November 5th. So I understand where you're coming from. You're in a difficult position. You know, this meeting is for tonight, I understand, was scheduled previously, was canceled because the chairman of the commission couldn't be here. I thought everybody was going to be here. My clients are paying me to be here. But there's issues beyond just the substantive wetlands permitting issue that you're correct will take its course. It will take its course through the appeal process. There are some other issues of treatment of my clients, perhaps of other citizens of the town, of process,
Well, those
that I think your board needs to be aware of, and that's why we have copied you on letters and brought it to your attention. We've also brought it to the attention of DEP. And if those issues remain, I can tell you right now, they would be the basis of any appeal, as well as whatever the substantive decision is.
Okay.
So
I was
I just
more or
want to be
less-
clear of what we thought tonight might be, and that what you should be discussing. Obviously, you can't second-guess the commission's decision on the merits of the case, one way or other, whether to issue a permit or not issue a permit, to enforce or not enforce. But I think there's other issues in the way the commission conducts its business that does need to be addressed for you, and that's why my clients wish those matters to be raised before you. So.
Correct, and I do understand that, but this letter was made out to the Conservation Commission and CC to us as I saw that, so it would be prudent to have them try to deal with it first, and then go from there.
I'm only suggesting that tomorrow night is not going to be the forum to do it, and to the extent there was an opportunity to do so on November 27th, the opportunity wasn't taken.
No,
So-
I do agree with that. But,
All right, so, thank you.
all right, thank you. Thank you. I guess it's up to the board as how you want to proceed.
I've said my piece.
I guess I'd put it to a vote then, to accept a motion to delay action, or back to the Conservation Commission, however you want to.
I'll make a motion, we take it under advisement for the time being, and pending a further report on the matter from the parties.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Donovan,
A second.
seconded by Mr. Dion. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, it's unanimous. Thank you. I am sorry, I didn't know for sure if you guys were gonna show up tonight, but it was late in the afternoon by the time I got in. It wouldn't have done any good to call you. I probably should have given you a shout somehow, but I didn't have access to email or anything else, so it was tough. One. Will you take,
As long as she doesn't get into the merits.
yeah, we seriously don't want to get into the merits of this.
No, I completely understand. My name is April Paterno, and I'm actually a civil and environmental engineer. My parents are the Powers, and I've been helping them through this process because I do know open meeting law, I do know public records, and I do know my wetland rules and regulations. This is the third meeting with the Board of Selectmen that the Conservation Board has been invited to come to. And this is the third time that they have not come. And we have been here, and we have been trying to get these issues addressed. There are many issues that need to be addressed, and the fact that the board itself is violating the 310 CMR code, which they are bound to protect, is one of the major issues. And we will be back after.
That's fine.
That's
Believe me,
the end of it.
I don't think there's a member on this board that doesn't want to move forward if the proper actions, again, we can't second guess what they do as far as wetlands and stuff like that. That's their call. There are some accusations on here that I believe if you discuss as adults and go back and forth and find out whether it's a tree, a shrub, a bush, or whatever it was, whether it's a river, a stream, thing, we could all finally settle on that would be very helpful. I'm just suggesting that and it was only 2 times that I know of that we invited the Conservation Commission here. It was not 3, so this would be the second. And I could be wrong. Believe me, I make a lot of mistakes, but
There was one time before the special meeting.
that was the only other time that I'm aware of. I don't know if anybody else is here.
Then there was the 19th, and then there was this time.
I don't know.
Because we actually got a phone call stating that the meeting was not going to be taking place on the 19th, and we're told not to come, even though you were still having a meeting. So this is the third time that the Conservation has been invited to come, and that this was supposed to be addressed. So this is 3 times that this issue has been put off. I have documentation, I know my wetland rules and regulations, I know the violations, and when all this is said and done, that will come before you guys, and I will bring that to you, and you guys will see the legality of everything that I'm saying and the violations that have been taking place.
That's fine.
But my thing is this keeps getting pushed off and pushed off and pushed off.
Well, I was assured, and I will assure you, that something should happen tomorrow night. That's what I was told by the chairman. That's what my wish is. As you know, Tom, it's very difficult to sit on the Board of Selectmen and get into disputes between neighbors. It's a very difficult thing. None of us get paid enough money to do that. It's not part of the job description. Okay, we're doing our best, and I'll guarantee you that, to be fair. And it's very difficult to go from zoning rules to conservation rules and listen to this and listen to that. And then when you get this and one person says one thing and one person, somewhere in the middle is the truth. And I've learned that from being on boards and commissions. Whenever you get in the middle of 2 people that are in an argument, there's a little bit of trying to lean you one way or the other on both. Now, I'm not saying that necessarily happens here, but I'm just saying, from my opinion, it gets tough to be trying to sit here and make these decisions.
Mike, with all due respect, neighbor dispute, I am so tired of hearing that. This is not a neighbor dispute. This is a wetland policy and protection act that has been completely violated.
All right.
It is a law.
Let's see what
That is
happens
it.
tomorrow night. That's their jurisdiction.
That's
not
what we're
mine.
gonna do. We're gonna go tomorrow night.
Yep.
And I'm pretty sure that we will probably be before your board again.
Okay.
And I hope that it will be under better circumstances, but I do not feel like
Right.
it will be.
Because at some place in
Yeah.
time, we're going to have to place it in the hands of our attorneys, depending on where it goes, and we're trying to avoid that, so. Okay, thank you. We're all set on the motion,
Yeah,
so.
just invite Andy back.
Mr. Burbine? has left the building.
That's okay.
Here, I got him.
Okay, you're all set.
Item number 8, request to stay open until 1:00 a.m. on New Year's Eve for 55 Wales Street, which is the Polish Club, I believe.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
When Mr. Rakels wrote this request, he was under the impression that his license was till 12:30, but it is until 1.
Oh.
Anyway, so.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Item number 9, approval of annual license renewals. We have a number of them in your package. Usually what we do is we'll approve them all as a lot unless you want to accept any, and then we'll take those out and vote on those separately. So why don't we go through the first 2 pages, which I think are basically the common victual licenses and the entertainment licenses. Are there any on there that you would like to exclude at this point in time? Ken?
I have 2, Tastefully Done, which my brother owns, and Truckee Supermarket, where I am employed.
So we'll take those 2 out and vote on those separately. Any others?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Just the issue on Louis' Famous Pizza.
Yes.
As we found out, their workers' compensation insurance had lapsed in October.
Oh.
And they are currently, they're in the middle of a sale, trying to get, have the establishment sold. So because it had lapsed, they're put in an assigned risk category. So it will be 10 days before they get their workers' compensation coverage. So you may want to amend that vote to contingent upon their workers' compensation
Can
coverage.
we take that one out separately?
I just want to make a disclosure that I do work at some of these places occasionally, so.
I eat and drink at a lot of them, too.
I didn't want to go
Out
that
of
far. I was just going to say, I just drink, I don't eat.
The China Eatery, do we, even though they're not open yet, do we still approve their?
No.
We don't, so
No.
that's strict, so because it's on here, so.
Right, I believe it's on the fire chief or the building inspector's list that it come off because they're not
was,
open.
so we take that one out,
Yeah,
too?
China Eatery.
Corner Deli.
Abington Dairy Queen, yes. The Scoop Ice Cream Coffee and Deli. Morel's Country Kitchen. Corner Deli.
Okay, so all those we're going to exclude at this point, right?
Will we exclude Dairy Queen? I mean,
Oh, it closed for the season, so I guess we wouldn't.
but that's just because he didn't get a chance
Yeah.
to inspect it, that's all.
Right.
I wouldn't think we'd exclude it. No.
Right.
So we won't
Well,
exclude.
you know how many people would be mad at us if you
Yeah.
exclude the Dairy Queen?
Whoopsie.
All right, so right now, we're going to exclude from the vote China Eatery, Corner Deli, Louis' Famous Pizza, Morel's Country Kitchen. What's the situation with that, Dory? Is that,
They're not open as
They're
well.
not open, okay.
Right.
so he'll have to come back in and apply for a license once he's up and going?
Yes.
So Morel's, the Scoop Ice Cream Coffee and Deli, Tastefully Done, and Truckee. Any others that anybody want to exclude at this point? If not, why don't we have a motion to approve all of the others on the list?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, so China Eatery, we're not going to do anything on at this point because we're still waiting.
Yep.
Corner Deli is no longer there, so we wouldn't have to do it. Louis' Famous Pizza. What was your recommendation on that?
My recommendation would be to approve contingent upon receival of the workers' compensation insurance.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Morel's, we're not going to act on, correct?
Right, right,
The Scoop Ice Cream Coffee and Deli, we're not going to act on.
correct.
Tastefully Done. You want to recuse yourself on that one, Ken, I guess, right? Okay.
Move we approve.
There's a motion to
Second.
approve and a second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed and one abstention. And Truckee Supermarket, the same, you want to abstain on that, or
Yes.
recuse yourself on that one? Okay. Do we have a motion on Truckee's?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? 1, right? That's that list. Then we have lodging. 108 Adams Street, 221 North Ave, 693 Washington Street, 96 Railroad Street.
Move we approve?
Second.
Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. And we have the combined Class 1 and 2 license renewals. Any of those that anybody would like to see excluded from the vote at this point? I'd like to take out Borderland Service. I do represent them.
And I'd like to take out Eddie Bailey's Garage because it's a relative of, through marriage.
Move we approve everything else.
So there's a motion to approve all but Borderland and Eddie Bailey's Garage. Is there a second?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Mike, you got to handle Borderland because I'm going to recuse myself.
I'll move we approve.
Mr. Donovan?
Second.
Second by Mr. Dion. Any further discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
It's
Abstain.
4, 1, and then Bailey's.
Eddie Bailey's Garage, is there a motion to approve that?
So move.
I'll second.
And a second, any discussion?
I just want to know, is it like a second marriage removed? What's the relation there?
You know the way. This, whatever.
Any further discussion?
No.
If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, and 1 abstention.
Could I just ask one question on this form? There's 2 dealers that have no restrictions, or they're missing. Most of them have how many cars they can store and sell, and there's 2 that do not. Does that mean they're unlimited, or is it just in misprint, like Abington Auto Mall and Auto Town Truck Sales? Actually, we know the truck sales has a limit, because we...
Yeah, we did
that's a
that
new
license
one.
recently, yeah.
I don't remember Auto Mall, that was before my time.
It just got left off.
It left out, okay,
Yeah.
so there are restrictions.
Yes.
Okay, that's all I need to know.
Okay, item number 10, granting of special municipal status. There were still 3 committees that we didn't act on at our last meeting. The Summer Concerts Committee, and they've requested special municipal employee status. Tricentennial Committee has requested special municipal employee status. And the School Building Committee, which is basically the feasibility study committee, has requested special municipal status. So we should take each one individually. We take up Summer Concerts Committee.
Chairman, I'm going to recuse myself from this vote, because I'm actually on that committee, too.
Okay.
I'll move we approve it.
A second.
And a second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Tricentennial Committee.
Move we approve.
A second.
And a second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Sorry, on that Summer Concerts, there was 1 abstention, right, Ken?
Correct.
And School Building Committee.
I move we approve.
Second.
And a second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
Just one question, Mr. Chair.
Yep.
Last meeting, when we were going through this, there was a question on the representative to the South Shore of Oak School Committee as far as granting that position special municipal employee status. And as I recall, there was supposed to be some check whether we can do that, seeing it's a regional appointment. I don't know if anybody's...
Yeah, we can do it, but it's not effective unless each town in
Each
the
town has
region
to.
also does it.
Okay. So should it prohibit us from doing that?
Well, we didn't do it because she didn't request it.
Right.
She said specifically she didn't need it, so.
Right.
But then I think
That's
we were
right.
uncertain as to whether or not she knew what the implications were.
Yeah,
if
that
she
was
did
my
it.
concern, just in...
Yeah, I don't know, did we go back and talk to her at all, or?
We can do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the concern, Dory, was, they would be voting on the South Shore VOTEC budget that will be presented to town meeting, and to me, there could be some conflicts of interest if town meeting wasn't gonna support it, or we're gonna support it, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if she
Okay.
doesn't want it, I mean, that's fine.
Sure, I'll double check with her.
Thank you.
Thanks. Item number 11 was the dissolution of the inactive committees. When we were going through that special municipal employee status last time, we came across a number of committees that weren't active any longer, so it's probably prudent to dissolve them at this point in time. And I think the list that Dory prepared shows you which ones are no longer active. We're in the Computer Study Committee, Growth Management Committee, Land Reuse Board of Directors, Land Reuse Advisory Board, Middle School Site Selection Committee, Permanent Building Committee, Police Station Building Advisory Committee, Surplus Land Committee, Tri-Town Air Base Reuse Impact Committee, and the Website Committee.
Move we disband all those stated committees?
Is there a second?
Second.
And a second. Any discussion?
Disband and dissolve.
Is it dissolve or disband?
Both. We just said we're going to say
On the
disband
agenda is
slash dissolve.
dissolution, so it might be a, what, open meeting violation? Just saying.
No.
Whatever makes you happy. Dissolution.
Any discussion on the motion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Number 12, public comments. Is there any public comment? No public comment. Anything else? Tom, I know you and I had an email back and forth, and you had a policy that you were hoping to present at some point in time. Did you get my email later?
Yeah, I did, and just, I think it was presented on the 28th. I had thought our meeting was the 3rd of December, but basically that I was requesting through the chair that the board consider a policy to, in effect, put on a hiring wage adjustment and spending limit freeze for some temporary period of time. That doesn't mean that those couldn't happen, but I think from a policy viewpoint, I think there's some issues happening at the federal, certainly at the state level, and I think some local ones that I think the board may want to consider doing that, so we're aligned with spending decisions that are taking place within town.
So Tom had requested on the agenda for this meeting, but John was not here to give us his input on what he thought would be prudent or not. So I told Tom it would be on the next agenda, but I think he wanted to try to act on it quicker.
I felt that it's severe enough that we should act on it before the meeting on the 14th. Specifically, to look at it as early as this week, or beginning of next week, to review and potentially enact that sort of a policy.
I have no problem with that. And I think you're right. It is, you even hear the governor talking about going back now and retracting something from state and local aid, and that would have a
The only problem
devastating.
I would have with that is if we're in negotiation with some unions, would that be non-union employees?
Again, Kenny, I'm not a lawyer or whatever, but it wouldn't prohibit spending. It would just make sure that the board, our policy was to make sure that the town manager was aligned with those sorts of decisions before.
Aligned meaning?
That he knew what our desires were and whether he should be spending the money, making hiring decisions, making wage or salary adjustments, those sorts of things.
So I guess what it comes down to is, do you folks want to meet prior to January, what's our next meeting?
January 14th.
January 14th, to discuss Tom's proposed policy.
And
And
again,
at that point in time, you could give us the policy in advance so we could take a look at it.
And I did want to mention, the town manager drafted a letter today, too, regarding that, and the financial team is going to meet with him tomorrow to review that, and so I want you to be aware, he was aware of that and is in the process of setting up.
Would we wait until we got a copy of the letter to see what their concerns were?
Yeah, we're going to meet tomorrow on it.
And then if
It's pretty much as Selectman Dion said, can watch your budgets, we're watching our revenues in the town, which actually, they're not that bad at the moment. If you exclude, like, the motor vehicle excise, the large commitment, because that doesn't come in until March, we're 44%. We're actually, pretty good. However, it's only 5 months, full 5 months into the year, and he's aware of that, and is going to ask, departments to be very careful to live within their budgets and not spend.
And I'm not challenging that. I
just wanted
I
you-
do believe
yeah.
in that, and
Yeah.
rather than getting into a discussion about it tonight, I think there's some other situations that should be brought to the forefront, and I think, to Andy's point, in fairness to the town manager and his financial team, I think we should discuss it.
Definitely.
As a group and see
I
what.
agree.
Have a special meeting.
Yeah.
Next week?
And
You
this
said
week.
This week?
Yeah.
How could you
We-
do it this week?
Why couldn't you
Yeah.
do it Thursday?
Oh, yeah, he's got to be away.
You dirty bird.
Thursday.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
I couldn't
I
do
knew
it,
it.
I couldn't do it
I
this,
saw
I could do
this.
it next Monday, I couldn't do it this week. Kevin, you'll have to
Well-
wait till you get back.
I guess Kevin's in,
Really?
but let's,
I think that's a good idea, and we even have established funding sources for the 1% 9C cuts as well, so I think it would be a good, healthy discussion.
Do it, how about next Monday? Is that all right?
I won't be here, but the town manager will be here.
Yeah,
Will Nancy be here?
she will now. Sorry, Nancy. All right, so we'll set a meeting
Abington's
for
best.
next Monday.
6:30?
6:30, yeah. If you can just get your policy out in advance so people can have a chance to look at it, because I don't like, it's not fair to people to have it dropped on them the night of.
And Dora, you indicated that you were crafting a letter, or the financial team was to.
Yes.
Yeah, that
the
can be
town-
part of the
So we'll be
package.
part of the thing.
Yep.
If we're gonna be here already, and not to make the meeting any longer, but we had discussed about having town council and go over what open cases we have, would that be a good time to do it possibly?
I would, you know what, I'd kind of like that myself, but that's up to the board.
I'm already coming for a meeting.
If she's available, I don't know.
I missed that.
We haven't had an update from town council as
Oh.
to litigation and that sort of stuff.
Yep.
We've done that, I think it was probably 6 or 8 months ago.
Yep.
So I think Kenny's point was if they're available, maybe they could come.
Oh, sure.
That would be an executive session, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
If they're available.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Anything else?
Motion to
still
adjourn.
public comments?
Yes, we still have public comment, yeah.
Okay, I'm just seeing these gentlemen.
No,
They
they-
just-
I looked at them, they,
No, you're.
We have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
And a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Thanks, Justin.
Enjoy your trip.
Yeah, have a good trip, Kevin.
thank you.